Hello, I'm Donald McIntyre of New Financial. This is New Financial Live, and I'm in Coronado, San Diego, at the offices of StockTwits, and you can see how beautiful it is. This is the entrance. I'm going now to see the guys, and I can see here is Chris Corriveau. Hello, Chris. How are you? How are you guys? What is this office? This is the command center.
Yeah, that's where all the magic happens.
All the magic happens here.
Exactly.
And now I'm going to talk to Justin. He's the head of product at StockTwits. Hello, Justin.
How's it going?
How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Let me close the door. Thank you very much, Justin, for your time.
Thank you for coming by.
Before we talk about StockTwits, I wanted to know a little bit more about you, your background.
So my background is actually in finance. So I graduated from North Carolina, Chapel Hill, with a degree in economics. I worked for about 3 years on Wall Street, actually in private wealth. And when I was there, I was, they had you doing, really old school techniques of reaching customers. So you'd be cold calling, sending out like mail campaigns where you couldn't even really talk to people. You couldn't you were sending marketing mail merges. It was the same message from everyone. And I got really interested in everything that was going on in Web 2.0 at that time. So I started a blog, and that's how I met Howard through, I was just blogging about the markets and, just high level things anonymously, but, I developed a little network within, the blogosphere. I just didn't really see a future there. I was like, this whole industry is getting commoditized. You can't really talk to your customer, talk to your client. I want to be in the area of financial technology where, I see this disruption taking place. So I left. I was working at Citi at the time. Left there in... That
was Citi Private Bank or Wealth Management?
It was Smith Barney, but then it got rolled up into Citi.
We were colleagues. I was a stockbroker at Smith Barney.
Oh, really? Yeah, so everything got rolled up to Citi like right around 2008. I think I left in about June of 2008. I left Citi and went to kind of a financial technology startup called UNU. So that was like my first, moving from finance into technology. And that company basically, it was like a stock market for sports tickets. Really fun. We needed funding in the middle of the crash basically, and we just couldn't get it, so we had to close down. And that's when I ran into Howard. They were hiring for just an intern. I was just like still trying to break into tech.
I think you are a valuable acquisition for StockTwits because you actually come from Wall Street.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things that I see on StockTwits now I actually saw like on our terminal at Citi. We'd have this Reuters terminal, and it would just have like your quotes, and it would have like a stream of news coming through. And the first time I saw StockTwits, I just thought of that, except it was all human generated. So like you'd have that news, but you'd have like the emotion and like people actually sharing it. I was just like, this is amazing. Like, this is going to be such a useful tool for a lot of people, especially those really active in the market.
I always find very interesting all the new finance companies like Mint or Page Ones or Wealthfront, etc. Many of them were born here on the West Coast, technology based. But in your case, you are like a real Wall Street person, helping the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have the team here. A lot of the people who were here early on had some grounding in finance for the most part. Like Howard, ran a hedge fund, traded. Phil used to work for a hedge fund, so we understand the space. I think everyone knows that it's broken, and I think we've always believed in this democratization. Like the regular investor should be able to get that news flow that I got at Citi. They should be able to talk to their advisors or talk to professionals very openly about stocks. Like it's a lot of what happened after the tech bubble, like just put up a wall between the client and the customer. No one could really talk, and it was just, it's so bad for the investor. And that's why I just got out of there. I was just like, I can't help people because I can't talk to them. Like, you're just putting people into asset allocation models, which is fine, and I think that's actually very beneficial for a lot of people. But for people that want to invest, you can't actually talk about investments, really.
And you talk to your clients and people about what Smith Barney wanted you to tell them.
Well, I mean, you know, you see companies like Wealthfront, right? Like, the whole idea was like, oh, I'm, you know, trying to put people into this, you know, you literally just like type in a computer, you say, hey, how much money do you need? What's your risk tolerance? And it spits out a model. Like, where's the future of me in that equation? Why can't someone just go in and say, hey, this is me, here's what I need my money by? Like, it's just an application. So I didn't really just see much, like, the future of the business, like, was you can't talk about investments, you can't really manage your own portfolio. So, like, where's the, like, you know, it wasn't even fun to me, like, you know, I wasn't really into that much into, like, asset allocation. I was just always interested in investments and just new opportunities. So I just got out of there.
And here at StockTwits, you are responsible for the product?
Yeah, so I run product. I mean, we have a pretty small team, as you saw. So we're all, you know, in the same room bouncing ideas. But, you know, I'm very much focused on, you know, what the StockTwits user community wants.
Can you show me a little bit of how it works?
So here's your main home screen when you first log in. So on StockTwits, basically what you can do is you can follow people and stocks, and then, you know, we'll automatically build a stream of all the messages from those people and all the messages about that stock. So you know, and it streams right in real time as the new message comes in. You know, you just get this real time feed of what's going on. So, you know, you scroll down, this guy's looking at a quick glance of what's happening this afternoon. You know, he's put this chart.
That chart is uploaded by the user?
Yeah, so the user uploads the chart, and a lot of things traders like to do is say, yeah, here's what I'm seeing. So he's on his charting software. You know, he's taking a snapshot of the chart that he's using, and
I'm going to point from here because of the reflection.
Oh yeah, can you see it better now?
Yes.
And he's just, you know, he's putting his glance out. I mean, for some people, this is, you know, completely foreign because they don't know how to read it, but other people, you know, and the people who follow this guy find this very useful.
And I saw also that some users can produce some videos or talk about some stocks on video.
Yeah, so you can have people share videos. We have a little piece of software where you can take like a screenshot of your monitor. So people like to, you know, I think it's used a lot for charts, but people are using it in different creative ways as well. You know, here's a video with sheep in it, but like it's just a quick way.
Can you play it to see if we can?
This
must be about the herd effect.
Because you're fucking sheep.
But
I see there he put the symbols of Apple. So StockTwits, when you write a StockTwit, a message, you can put the symbol, and it's going to be posted on the stream of that specific company.
Yeah. So what we did, you know, StockTwits originally came from Twitter, and the real genius of StockTwits was, especially in the early days of Twitter, people were just talking, and there was this idea of a hashtag that you know, would basically segment and conversation about that particular whatever you put, you know, hashtag, you know, sports, and you can talk about sports. So we invented this thing called this hashtag where, you know, on Twitter you put a $sign before the stock symbol, and we would aggregate all that conversation and curate and keep a community around that hashtag. So we originally built as an app on Twitter, and what we would do is we would have this sub-community of people who were talking about stocks. So we would have people, of all the people that mentioned Twitter, $sign AAPL on Twitter, we would, you know, we created our own application that would just, you know, you had to be a member of our community, and we would aggregate your conversation, and you could follow people, and eventually we built our own platform where you could follow people, tickers, and, you know, we're continuing to build out our own platform.
And regarding the hashtag, because I always use personally StockTwits, but I saw that on Twitter they also use the hashtag, which is instead of putting the $sign and then the word of what you are talking about, you put the $sign and the symbol of a stock, and that is works like a hashtag. Who invented it? What happened there?
So it was invented by us, but like any kind of protocol or anything, it's expanded beyond that. I mean, the hashtag wasn't invented by Twitter; it was invented by a Twitter user. Twitter kind of latched onto that, but now you see like Instagram, Path, they're all using the hashtag now as well. So it's just a way, now it's beyond the company that invented it. It's just a way of talking about stocks. And we think we would love for the hashtag to catch on further.
Finally, can you show me the heat map,
Sure.
which is something that I think is very interesting.
So we've created a little section called StockTwits Social Signals. And this is where we're just kind of taking our data and trying to find interesting ways to look at what people are saying on StockTwits. So what we, what we put together was this social heat map. And I think originally when we were, a Twitter kind of was, codenamed the tweet map. And what this does is it takes, of all the stocks in the universe or, the major stocks out there, we put them into sectors, and then you could see where the conversation is happening. So the size of these boxes represent total message volume for an individual stock, and as they aggregate up, it shows the total message volume for the sector. And the color just shows the price performance.
I can see, for example, here the technology box. If you click there, what happens?
So the technology obviously is the most talked about sector over the last 24 hours.
So it's not really. So the size of the box and it is really a measure of people talking about that specific box or stock within StockTwits?
Message volume, yeah. So you could see that Apple, out of the technology sector, is the most talked about today. And you could see in the sector itself, the tech stocks that are most talked about are also down. But
And why do I see, for example, Nokia in green and Apple in red? What is the difference?
Well, let's see why Nokia is up today.
So it means that green means that the stock price is up?
Yeah, green means the stock price is up.
And then I saw that you clicked on Nokia and you went to the stream.
Yeah, so here's the stream. So you can see all the messages in real time that people are talking about Nokia. So the last one was from about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
So he's posting a link from Globe and Mail.
Okay. So it works like Twitter in that sense.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
post links.
very similar. It's a microblogging platform like Twitter. I mean, we were born off of Twitter, but we try to tailor exclusively to investors. Like you can see this guy right here. One thing we've added is the ability to add your sentiment to a message. So you could see here on Nokia, this person put a bullish tag, and this person put a bullish tag. So you could actually like scan the stream, and you can get a
So
good
when
idea.
you tweet, you can also mark if you're bullish or bearish.
Yeah, you can put a bullish or bearish.
Let me see that closer. Sorry.
So Nokia, going long.
So you're writing a tweet on a message on StockTwits.
and then I could put bullish right there and send it. And then what we do is we aggregate all that data so you could see overall community sentiment on the stock.
Very good.
So you can see that for various.
So you don't only see what people are talking about on prices and charts, but you also see sentiment by aggregating the information and the amount of messages per stock.
Yeah, I mean the major, one of the main use cases for StockTwits is finding out what's happening right now, what people are saying, getting the mood and the pulse of the markets. There's better places out there to get, all the news stories.
Yes.
There's better places out there to get charts. There's better places out there to get price. But there's no better place than StockTwits to find out what's happening right now.
So it will work something like this. If I see that Facebook is down $2 or up $2 or something like that, I go to Yahoo. Normally I don't see any news, so I don't know what is happening. I would go to StockTwits and I would go and see what's happening. I click on the symbol and I would see what's happening live.
Exactly.
Real time.
So you could see whether there was news, and and then on the next derivative of that, you can see what people think about the news. So you can see the stocks down on bad news, and then another level of that, you can say, oh, well, this guy who's pretty influential in the community thinks that this is an overreaction. So maybe you can actually turn that into an actual idea to say, hey, maybe I want to go long this stock because this is, we think people are overreacting. Or you could scan the mood of the stream and you could see on news everyone in the community is really bearish on this news. And you could, whether, depending on your philosophy, if you're a contrarian, you could say, hey, everyone's really bearish, stock's down big on this news. The real pulse of the investor is bearish on the negative news, and then the stock is down as well. Maybe this is a good entry point. Or, you could say, oh, well, everyone's bearish and all these people I trust are super bearish. I want to get out of this stock.
Very good, Justin. Congratulations for your job here on StockTwits and also for the product.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.